is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are MC.
When you're in a slump, you need an ace to stop the slide. For the Royals, that ace is Danny Duffy. Duffy has taken charge in the starting rotation, and the Royals are undefeated in his last 6 starts. Kansas City has lost 8 of 9, but they have the right man on the mound tonight. The Royals look to ride the left arm of Danny Duffy to an opening series win against the Tampa Bay Rays. It was a beautiful afternoon in St. Petersburg, Florida, where tonight we come to you from Tropicana Field for Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Royals and the Tampa Bay Rays. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. The trade deadline has passed. The Royals did not make a deal, but quite frankly, why would you want to break up a team that has been to the World Series in back-to-back years? This is a group that really likes itself and is all about we rather than me. And one of those guys is our Honda most trusted player, tonight's starting pitcher, Danny Duffy. This year, in his last 6 starts, he is 4-0. The team has not lost when Danny has been on the hill. His ERA outstanding, strikeouts to walks, incredible, 39-6. And now we bring in Rex Hudler, and he was our Honda most trusted player, and I think a lot of it has to do with Danny trusting his stuff.
That's right. Fizz, he wouldn't even be here if he didn't have his tremendous skills. He's got 3 great pitches. They're off the charts. He has ace stuff, there's no doubt about it, but the thing that's impressed me most is his poise. He's developed poise. Look at that. Nice little inside move. Got a big out against the Cardinals. Watch this play here. Spectacular play. Duffy's showing some athleticism, but look, his poise has allowed him to do that. Growth and maturity. Look, 3 years ago, he'd have thrown that 10 rows deep right there. Look at that. He's able to calm down. He's able to slow everything down, Fizz. Slowing things down is the key element for any participant in the major leagues. Pitchers, hitters, you have to be able to slow it down. He's done a great job of that. Now it's fun to watch the finished product.
You got to slow it down a little bit.
I try, Fizz, but that ain't going to happen.
All right, Chris Archer is on the mound for Tampa Bay. He has tied with Justin Verlander for the most strikeouts in the American League. We'll talk Tampa Bay and their success lately when we come back. 1 of this series. And Rex, the Royals taking on a Tampa Bay team that suddenly has gotten hot.
They have. You know what? Sometimes when you divide the first half, the second half, you take the All-Star break, you never know what team's going to show up the second half. Well, the Rays, their pitching has showed up. They've been dominant. Look at that ERA overall, 2.53. That's been the best in the AL since then. And be careful, because they can go deep with the best of them. It's a dangerous team. 134 home runs now in 103 games. That's the most in their franchise history through that many games. It's going to be interesting to see if the Royals can keep them in the yard, and they haven't been able to do it all year. Maybe it'll happen tonight.
When we come back, Hud will have his keys to victory. Time for HUD's Golden Oak lending keys to victory.
Royals got to find a way to score 4 more runs, and when they do, that record doesn't lie. 40-13, that's getting it done. First 4 games of this road trip, they haven't gotten it done. If 3 runs or fewer, that's not working. They're going to have to change things tonight.
Duffy versus Archer. The first pitch is coming your way. Royals and Rays next. Score 49 and 55 this year. Eske hitting .255 will be followed by Cheslor Cuthbert and Lorenzo Cain back in the starting lineup along with Salvador Perez.
All right, now there's Chris Archer. He's had some issues against the Royals now. Look, KC is one of just 2 teams in the American League that he hasn't beaten. And I hate to tell him this, but it's going to stay that way. The Royals are due. They are due to break out. And there's some guys on our team that have some good numbers against Archer. And hopefully they'll take that confidence into their at-bats against him. Look for the fastball. He's got a good one.
Last time he pitched against the Royals was June 1st. And boy, that one's fouled right off the mask of the home plate umpire Jerry Davis, who is the crew chief. Wow, that'll wake you up.
Jerry, sorry about that first pitch of the game. Wow. Not a good start for you. Oh, fortunately it kind of grazed you, though. It didn't hit you squarely. Good guy.
Carlos Torres is the first base umpire. Rob Drake at second base, and Sam Holbrook the third base umpire tonight. Archer and Duffy hooked up on June 1st in Kansas City, and Duffy outpitched him. Escobar, like many of the Royals, struggling since the All-Star break, hitting just .200. That's seen his batting average dip to .255. The Royals are just 4-12 since the break. One thing we know, Hud, Archer has terrific stuff. He's tied with Justin Verlander for the most strikeouts in the American League with 155. To shortstop, Brad Miller throws out Escobar.
That's right, Fizz. He's got good stuff. Now, most of these young pitchers, 27 or younger, all have hard fastball. That's what you gauge stuff from, how hard he throws. Now, 93 strikeouts on his slider, pretty impressive. That's his out pitch. Changeup, slider, fastball, a lot like Danny Duffy, except he throws from the right side, Duffy from the left.
And that fastball averages 94 miles an hour. It's a little bit slower than last year, when he averaged 95.2. So down about 1 mile per hour on that fastball, but he's always had that exceptional slider to go to. And here is Cheslor Cuthbert, one of the American League's top rookies this year.
Well, but you see his ERA at 4.42, and there's a reason. Look where he's pitching. Everything's up. And, you know, when you have that type of velocity, you can get by with it up there, but sometimes you can, especially when those hitters start sitting on that pitch. It's just a little bit too much out of their zone. You want to make sure to see him down below the belt.
And that's why he's given up 21 home runs this year. 12 to right-handers, 9 to lefties. Right down Broadway.
There's some issues with walks too. 51 walks in 130 innings pitched. It's too many walks.
Cheslor hits one to short. Miller will take care of the first 2 Royals of this game.
Okay, now they've tried Miller enough. It's time to move on to somebody else. How about let an outfielder field a ball? Rays defense, 982 team fielding percentage, second worst. Well, they've got a lot of moving parts in there. Kiermaier's been injured. Jennings has been in and out of the lineup. Miller, Beckham. You know, this is a team that's trying to find their identity.
And they made 3 trades today, so they're playing a little short-handed with just 23 players.
Wow, good handicapping today, but you know they'll find some players up here for tomorrow for sure. But that's tough. It's tough with 25. Ned will tell you.
Yeah, they did bring a guy off the disabled list today to help out. And that man is Desmond Jennings, so that's why it brought it from 22 to 23. And now Lorenzo Cain checks his swing, and that is a strike. Our Toyota League leaders show you that Lorenzo Cain really doing well in the first inning this year. Best in the major leagues at 406. He's had a lot of success against Archer. 5 for 7 with a home run.
Yeah, he's waiting him out. No pressure, Lorenzo, but we're expecting a hit here in the first inning. Yeah, we just showed all your great numbers, and those numbers aren't too shabby.
Still looking for that first hit since coming off the disabled list. Missed almost 5 weeks because of the left hamstring injury. And you wonder if they'll give him perhaps a day off playing on this turf.
I'm sure they will. 4 straight games here. It's like Ned gave him a day off in Texas.
He went, and that's the slider, and it is a good one. So the Royals go in order in the first inning. Four straight and 8 of their last 13. Logan Forsythe right at the top of the order. Then Brad Miller, who has been very hot since the break, and Evan Longoria. Great year with 23 home runs and 58 RBIs. Danny Duffy on the hill. He's making his 15th start this year. 6-1 record. We chronicled his success in our open, but his pitch efficiency, 22 walks, 110 strikeouts.
Did you ever believe that we would be saying that about Danny Duffy? The way he started his career the first 2 or 3 years, man, he had no command hardly at all. Same type of stuff. Remember, stuff is about velocity and movement on your pitch. That's what they say. He has good stuff, but he didn't know where it was going. I think the bullpen helped him. He had to throw strikes when he came in from the bullpen. He couldn't afford to walk anybody, so he got that trained in his mind, and then he got that call this season to get back up there on that mound and be the starter, and it's related. It's been good.
He needs 3 strikeouts to tie his single season career high of 113 set in 2014. Popped him up left side. Escobar will take it.
We'll show you Danny Duffy's pitch breakdown, just like Chris Archer, except he throws left-handed. His fastball is going to use it a majority of the time. He's going to set up those other pitches, a slider and a changeup, and then he uses the slider and change to get him off of that fastball later. Pretty effective with all of them. Opponent's only hitting 151 on that changeup, and his breaker, only hitting 186. It's the fastball he's got to locate and make sure, especially to those right-handed bats.
Brad Miller, one of the rare lefties they have in their lineup tonight. Brad hitting .320 since the All-Star break, and his 16 of his 17 home runs have come playing shortstop. That already is a Rays record for a shortstop in the power department. Great star at Clemson.
Yeah, we saw him coming up with the Seattle Mariners, and he looked impressive. He takes a pretty good rip. Oh,
0-2.
Yeah, Miller's saying, man, if you give him that one, I'm in trouble. I already haven't a hard enough time to try to hit this guy anyway. You're going to give him that pitch?
Yeah, lefty's only batting .208 against Danny.
Home games, road games, pretty much the same.
Look at the ERA, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Point higher at home, but he's going to fill up the tank with that stuff right there all day long. Let it hunt, that fastball, or let it eat, whichever it prefers.
Sometimes you got to let the big dog eat.
Better believe that. That's for sure. Now, the Royals defense sponsored by Ford. Salvador Perez, remember back in August of 2011, he made his debut here, picked off a couple of Rays, almost got a third one, I believe.
He almost picked him off for the cycle, first, second, and third. Here's Evan Longoria. Slider in there, strike one. Evan has really picked it up. 15 of those 23 home runs in the last 2 months.
When he's down in that zone with that changeup like that, it's unhittable. Almost better off taking it. Hope he calls it a ball. You sure as heck can't square that one up.
So now he comes with a slider in the dirt. Sal picks it up, and they say they call him out because Longoria was almost in the dugout. 2 strikeouts for Danny.
Yeah, he's got to go, Fizz.
Away from home, our Academy leaderboard shows you that the Royals have really struggled on the road. Worst record in Major League Baseball at 17-36, and they were one of the better road teams in 2014 and 15. Here is Eric Hosmer. The will is with the ball clubs, but back-to-back extra months of October, you wonder how weary they are.
You know, when the season started and you get a chance to go on the air with different radio stations across the country, they are asking you, how's your team going to be this year? How many wins do you think they'll have? Well, after coming back from 2 of those mountaintop ascensions that they went on was unbelievable, and a run that I've never been on before, and many people never have. But it can wear on you. I said the Royals had the team that could win 90-92 games, but I didn't take it in consideration how many extra days and months These guys were having stressful at-bats, stressful innings. Remember how stressful everything was. High-stress innings for the pitchers, a lot of pitches, a lot of extra work. And that'll weigh up on you even when you're a young player like these guys are.
And that combined with misfortune as far as health goes. Royals were in first place on June 3rd. All fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I remember just the extra month of September after being in the minor leagues for so many years. That, you know, the season's over in August, and then you come into September, you're in a big league season. That's an extra month. It's really long. But to go another one after that, it's quite a grind. And not making excuses for the ball club, but that's what we're seeing.
Hosmer was 2 for 15 in the Texas series, and both hits opposite field home runs.
He almost got one of his teammates in the dugout on that little half swing.
Haas working a pretty good at bat.
Yeah, 2 for 11 off of Archer.
Danny Duffy only needed 10 pitches to get the 3 outs in the first, and 2 of them were strikeouts.
Haas wants that one back. That's his pitch. There's not an opposite field that he can't reach. 370 here in the gap.
He had a great series against the Rays back in Kansas City in late May, early June. Didn't mean to do it, but he went and struck out.
Once you start, it's hard to stop. And when you get back to the dugout, sometimes your hitting coach will tell you, hey, just go ahead and finish your swing. You might as well. You got a better chance. But easier said than done.
Hosmer knew he would be with the Royals, but Chris Archer wasn't sure. I mean, his name mentioned in a lot of rumors this past week and a half, Hud. Would Chris Archer be going? But instead, it was tomorrow night's starting pitcher, Matt Moore, who was traded to San Francisco.
Yeah, interesting afternoon today at the hotel, watching the news reports of what's going on in today's game and all that stuff that was going on with the trade deadline and who's getting moved where. And the updates was interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch.
We'll talk about that with Joe Goldberg later in our show.
And so, you know, as players, you're just a piece of property. You can't control much. 2 things. Your attitude and your output.
Hit sharply, but they had him play perfectly in shallow right field. 2 out. Our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball shows you the Rays made 3 trades today. Matt Moore to the Giants for infielder Matt Duffy and 2 prospects. Steve Pearce, who once was an Oriole, traded back there, and Brandon Geyer, who has come off the bench as an extra outfielder, to the Indians for 2 prospects. Cleveland continues to get better after getting Andrew Miller yesterday.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made them even a lot better would be had they got Lucroy would have signed with him, but he turned him down. Instead, he went to the Rangers.
Backhanded nicely by Miller. Salvador Perez is the 3rd out. Bottom 2 we go. 0-0 score.
They're hitting him hard. Don't get to him.
this year, and our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. You talk about Duffy and Archer combined 269 strikeouts this year, but they have the highest strikeout per 9-inning rate since May 15th. Archer averaging 10.5 and Danny 9.7. Remember, Duffy was inserted into the rotation on May 15th. In early May, 2 starting pitchers went down with injuries, and Chris Medlin and Chris Young. Duffy moved from the bullpen to the rotation, and Dave Island did a magnificent job bringing him along slowly. 3 innings, 1 start, then 4, making sure he didn't have one taxing inning. And boy, when he built that arm strain up, he was outstanding.
You're exactly right. They took their time, knowing that it had as long of the season as it is, and they were hoping he could get 25 starts in, because he missed so many at the beginning part. But he's really evolved into the guy that they believed he could, and he himself has believed he could always be this guy. And hopefully he'll just continue that. And the team is extremely confident when they play behind him.
Steven Souza, the batter for the Tampa Bay Rays, guy who came off the disabled list recently with a left hip injury, and he has not swung the bat well since. And a little late on that one. That 95 miles an hour above the belt. Strikeout number 3 for Duffy, and that now ties Danny with his career high for a single season, 113, set in 2014.
Yeah, but Danny's attitude has always been whatever the team needs. And last year, when he went to the bullpen and he was successful out of the bullpen, and then Joel interviewed him and said, "Hey, look," he said, "I'm much more comfortable in the pen than I am as a starter." I kept thinking about the financial side of it, the business side of it. If you're a starting pitcher and you win 10 to 15 games, that's a good contract you got coming. Bullpen guys, not quite as much, but he's not thinking about that.
Hud, I've always thought it's amazing how individual success follows team philosophy. If you're thinking team first, it just seems like it's a magnet, rather than if you do it in reverse, think of yourself, well, nothing's going to happen.
Right. And I was the one thinking that up here in the booth. I'm not down there.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good point.
Baby.
Because Duffy
got a new career high.
Yeah, he does. Congratulations, Duff. But for him, he and his teammates, they're all in it for the team, and that's what you get: a World Series championship and an American League championship in back-to-back years. So look, he's primed, and he knows exactly what he wants to do, and that is help his team win. He knows that everything else will take care of itself.
He put the team first, and now he's experiencing that individual success. Kevin Kiermaier, the batter, .212 hitter. This is a guy who just came off the disabled list recently. Only 6 hits and 42 at bats since. But he is a fantastic defender, but was on the disabled list because he fractured a bone in his left hand. And then he says, "You know what? Now I got to see Duffy." Ooh, tough lefty. Danny hails from Lompoc, California. Kiermaier from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Now, one of the 2 players that are missing in tonight's game that got traded was Brandon Guyer. He's hitting .344 off of lefties. It would have been a good matchup for Duffy, but that's one of the reasons Francona got him in the trade. Right-handed bat that can handle a lefty. Good spot there.
I think Danny thought he might get the call on the inside corner.
Sure enough, look where Salvi's target is. Just because he's sitting down there and he misses, I mean, that pitch was a strike.
He worked him up the ladder and struck him out. Strikes out the side.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Beautiful. Fill that zone up.
Under the roof at Tropicana Field, Joel Goldberg up in the crowd. And for the Rays, as Fizz mentioned, a busy day of trading for the Royals. The move they made was a couple of days ago, acquiring Billy Burns for Brett Eibner. But Dayton Moore saying in a news conference, a phone conference today with the media, that they didn't see a move out there that would improve the team at this point immediately or in the long-term future. And so they ended up standing pat. They liked the group that they have, acknowledging the fact that it was not a good July, but he said this is the group that we have moving forward. And they're always looking, always trying to better the team, but felt like there wasn't that move out there that made sense to them. So they end up staying. And you know, interesting, guys, because you had some players that have been rumored, and of course Luke Hochevar and Wade Davis both ended up getting hurt. Kendrys Morales' name had been out there a lot. Edinson Volquez's name had been out there a lot. Both of those guys are here and sensed a bit of relief. How do you know how that goes too? Just relief of players knowing where they're going to be.
Oh man, I'm going to tell you what, the anxiety is over. Even though you can still do trades, Joel, you know that. You just got to go through the process, which, you know, makes it a little bit more difficult to make those trades.
Well, the trade deadline passed at 4 o'clock local time. Edinson Volquez then went out there through his side session. After that, I talked to him about remaining a Royal.
It's hard, you know, like I said before, to see one of our teammates, just go, leave the clubhouse. And I'm really glad to be here today, and because I just want to be here. You know, this is the team I really like, and we won the World Series last year. Why play for another team?
Eddie says he loves it. He loves the family feel. Now, we know that Eddie's one of the coolest laid-back guys out there, but this is my favorite part, Fizz and Hud, of the story. He thought the deadline was yesterday, July 31st, which it is many years. And so he said, I went to bed last night feeling free. It was over with. He thought the deadline was done. Came to find out today his name was still out there and he could have been traded. So relief after the fact. But guys, they want to focus on baseball. He had no idea when he went to bed last night that the trade deadline was still going.
Until 4 o'clock today, Eastern time. Well, he has been delightful and a leader in that clubhouse. Well, Orlando hitting .317, chases that slider.
Yep, it's a very anxious time for guys. Now, when your name's not mentioned and you don't hear your name in any of the rumors, you're a little bit more comfortable. You're like, hey, look, you know what? I'm just happy I got a job here, and I can just go about my job like I normally do. But if you're one of those other guys that are hearing your name every day, it's tough.
Grounder up the middle. They've got no chance to get to Speedy Orlando, and he's around first base and races for second and makes it safely.
Yeah. Sure enough, Logan Forsythe played that into a double for Paulo. That's a good try. I knew even if he caught it, this ball had topspin on it. There's no way you're going to throw him out. So he reads it and didn't even have to waste a slide, really. His Forsythe, he just got to it, picked it up, put it in his pocket.
And you know what? He angled his run to race around first base even before the ball glanced off the glove. He knew that he was going to get to first base before that throw. Bunt. Archer up. Just barely does get Mondesi by a half step. Orlando to third.
Archer's a good fielding pitcher. He's very quick, very athletic. Mondesi, if he wants to knock, he's got to get it on the line. He knows that. He's an excellent bunter. And that's what it was. It wasn't to move the runner because there was already one out. He wanted that base hit. Got to make that third baseman field it. It's Tim Beckham tonight. It's not Evan Longoria. He's DHing.
Well, perhaps we'll see one of those Escobar specialties where he just flares one, maybe even a slider over the head of the first baseman and dumps it into right field. Escobar 8 for 13 against Archer in his career. That's fantastic. The Royals have good numbers from Escobar, Kane, and Kendrys Morales against the right-hander.
You know what's interesting about Mondesi being new into the league? The opponents don't know much about him. And it was apparent that Archer didn't either, because when he put this bunt down, Archer picked it up and kind of just, you know, how many he had to go. Oh, he tightened up a little bit and threw some 97 across the diamond to get him. He forgot who was running it. Didn't know much about him. He can fly. All right, let's watch him. Bare hands, he knows, but then he taps his glove and he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. He had to put a little more on the throw.
Yeah, the Angel pitchers found out all about his speed last week, twice throwing balls away. And that was on his 21st birthday. He got his first big league hit. Led to a Royals victory, their last.
Royals are a lot better than the 2 for 25 with runners in scoring position against the Rangers. That didn't get him any wins. You can't win if you don't score enough runs. I mean, 2 for 25, that's not the Royals. They got to get improved there. That's it. Fight it off. That one's elevated. It's the one, that slider that he throws, it's down in the dirt that you can't even hit. Eske's very confident against Archer. You see his numbers, 8 for 13.
Because of Escobar's ability to go to right field. Look how shallow that right fielder is.
Yeah, they want to take away that little dumper that he dumps right in there. That's why they play him shallow.
By Beckham, and he barely gets Escobar at first base. Good defense by the Rays, takes a run away from KC.
Nice play.
Struck out 5. And he will face the bottom of the order, Tim Beckham, Nick Franklin, and Luke Maile.
Look at those K's piling up already.
Here's a former #1 overall pick in 2008, but it took him 7 years in the minor leagues to finally play a full season in the bigs. Tremendous athlete, but sometimes athleticism doesn't transfer to baseball skills.
You got that right. I lived his life. 7 years, and the Yankees moved me on. They said, you know what, Hud, you got to go. Your skills.
And you were a first-round pick.
Right. 18th overall. Look. Ooh, we got a man there if it comes down. Better get in.
It's Alex Gordon, 1 out.
Fans, don't miss out on the great Royals tickets at a big discount. With the second half saver packs, you can choose any remaining 3, 5, or 7 Royals home games, including matchups with the Yankees, Blue Jays, and Indians, while saving up to 30% off regular dynamic prices. Take advantage today by purchasing a second half saver pack at royals.com/saverpack. Look at those happy young people there at the Trop here. That's what they call it. Watching Duffy fill the strike zone.
There's Nick Franklin, and he tries to bunt his way on. Thanks, Uncle Hud, from Hark in Topeka.
Yeah. Hey, right back to you. We're glad you guys came to the Trop. Gotta have you. We'll score some runs and bring you off your feet tonight. How about that?
You got that nickname your first year in 2012 from the young guys and Hosmer and Moustakas. You're like a favorite uncle that they never had.
Wow, I love telling them stories.
I know.
They would just sit and they'd kind of all pull up. That's when they let me in their little batting cage down there, and it's fun to get to know the guys that didn't know me. I didn't know them.
And they hadn't heard all of your stories yet.
No, but unfortunately you have, and so have most of the listeners, because we're on our 5th year here. Well, there's still some more in the tank, though. But look, this game is a blessing. And these young players, Salvador Perez, Hosmer, these young stars that we've been witnessing over the past several seasons, they have the world ahead of them. Let's continue to keep their focus on one game at a time. That's your mentality as a player. One day at a time.
Working him upstairs. Fouled back. Yeah, you were at the batting cage today, and I saw Salvi with his arm around you. He calls you Poppy.
You know, it's just fun to get a little time with them on the field down there and outside of, right in their element, and to bring back my playing days and think about what they're thinking about here and asking them, hey, look, you know what? Can you hit that sign over there? Can you hit the Ray tank? Watch me. Just fun stuff.
Little high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Can you hit a catwalk? Batting practice, you can hit those things, but it's not exactly like you can aim for them. But this is the best arena baseball field in the country.
Yeah, because the inside rings are in play. Oh man, look at that changeup. That had tremendous fade, and that's 6 strikeouts already for Duffy.
That's like I said, you're better off taking it. Look at him. See, if you showed that pitch tracks again up there, it had all those pitches in the top part of the zone. And then when you pull the string and you go down the lower part of the zone right there, you got the hitter looking up. You got 2 chances, slim and none, to hit it.
Now Luke Maile. Luke was just called up from the minor leagues on July 15th.
Gotta like it. If you're Maile, they're giving him a look. They're testing him out, letting him have some games to see what kind of major league player he can be. Are you going to be in our plans or not? You'd love that if you're a player. You try to focus without getting nervous and not getting all tight and tense. He's a good catch and throw guy. They know he can do that, but can he handle the bat?
This is just his 13th major league game. He had a very quick call up last year, only hit 171. Comes from a very athletic family. His father, Rich, was a football player at the University of Kentucky, and that's where Luke went to college, all SEC. His grandfather, though, was a fantastic basketball player at LSU. Dick Maile. Great outside score for the Tigers. Wow. 7 strikeouts in 3 innings for Danny Duffy.
Yeah, Luke, don't feel bad, bud. Look, that's good stuff. Okay, that's 2 back-to-back changeups. 1 down, 1 up. Sorry, you got to go.
Sharp ground ball to Brad Miller, and the Rays shortstop threw him out in the first. Royals have 1 hit. They were able to get Orlando to third base, but that was it off Chris Archer. Slider, ball 1.
Well, like you said, they've hit some balls hard at the shortstop tonight. Just a quarter of an inch underneath it, and that turns into extra bases. So we're starting the second time through is Chris Archer facing the Royals. So slider, slider. First time through was fastball, fastball.
Right back up the middle, and it glances off the glove of the second baseman Forsythe into center field. A hit for Cuthbert.
Wow, he nearly undressed Archer. That's the old chuck and duck there. Forsythe got a little piece of it, almost gave his second double to a hitter off of his glove, but good try. Watch Archer here. This, ooh, man, look at that. Yeah, old chuck and duck. Wow. Yeah, that was head high, Fizz. Fortunately, it was a foot over his head.
Now Lorenzo Cain, who struck out swinging first time up. Ball 1. Cain and the Royals beat Archer back on June 1st, and Archer has suffered a career high and major league leading 14 losses, 2 more than any other pitcher in the game. He's on pace for 22 losses. And that would be the most in the major league since 1974. The last 20-game winner was Detroit's Mike Maroth in 2003 when he lost 21.
Yeah, I thought that might go down as a record. Jim Abbott, one year I was playing, his teammate lost 18, and that was a painful season for him.
Ground ball deep short. Miller backhands. He'll get the force. Oh, that's a nice play.
They're making all the plays tonight, the Rays are, that's for sure. Good play. Lorenzo just didn't get it in the hole far enough. And Miller You know, he knows what to do on a ball hit that hard. He's got a chance for the lead runner. Tim Beckham, third baseman, he kept the Royals off the board here with that play he made on Escobar coming down that line. So they've been airtight.
Outfielders deep for Hosmer. Could be two. It is an inning-ending double play.
Danny Duffy throwing up a lot of zeros, and here's why. Believe me, this guy, we talked about his pitches before the game. The weapons, fastball, 95 plus, changeup, slurvy breaking pitch. And when you blow it by people like that, I like to say that's a Linda Ronstadt pitch. Blew by you. And that's exactly what he's doing. You could stare Duffy down all you want when you walk off, but you got to go. This is unbelievable what Duffy's doing tonight. He's just going right through these guys.
Some sweet music up there. And what's interesting, Hud, 7 strikeouts in 3 innings and only 36 pitches thrown through 3.
You know what? When you strike guys out, you throw more pitches. But he's been able to, some of the other outs that he's gotten have been early in the count.
Some of them on 3 pitches. 1-1 count now to the leadoff batter Logan Forsythe, who popped up to short his first time up. Forsythe hitting just 196 in July. One ball, 2 strikes. He's been using that changeup very well ahead in the count to get a strikeout to a right-handed batter. He tried to get the off speed, but Forsythe wouldn't bite.
Yep, he's been staying on the outer half, trying to bring some breaking balls in on the back door.
And Danny, you could hear him shout out, knowing that he didn't have a good release point on that one, the way it headed to the northwest. First base runner of the game. And that was after he was ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Join the Royals for Arts Day at the K. Come enjoy pregame festivities and the outfield experience as the Royals showcase various facets of the local art scene this Sunday prior to the Royals versus the Blue Jays game. Each Arts Day at the K themed ticket provides a $5 donation to the Arts KC Fund. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets for more information.
Little flare towards the second baseman Raul Mondesi. He'll take care of Brad Miller for the first out of the 4th inning. Royals turned 4 double plays yesterday. Perhaps they can get Longoria on one right here. Longo struck out swinging first time up. Excellent power 3 times in his Rays career. He's hit more than 30 home runs in a season, and on target for the 4th this year with 23. Out back. He had a pretty good rip at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And Longoria, he's a .291 hitter against southpaws. 10 of his 23 homers this year are off of lefties as well. So he's sitting on that heater, believe me. That's why it's important against righties that Duffy brings in that breaking ball to the back leg of that righty. Show it to him. Keeps him off the heater.
Great location there.
You can't hit that one in up and in like that. If you do, your bat will be screaming if you make any kind of contact.
And it'll be in pieces.
That's right.
Well, he's got back-to-back fastballs, and he got a weak swing on a changeup first time up.
Pull the string on him. Throw him that changeup down and away again.
Forsythe with 5 steals this year. There's the changeup, and it is a beauty, and Longoria strikes out. 8 now in the ball game for Duffy. Time for our sprint trivia. Name the last Royals starter with 7+ strikeouts in his first 9 outs. Man, they had that trivia question ready.
Huh? Come on, guys.
That's going to be a tough one for us to get. I remember a game Luke Hochever had here matched up against David Price, and Hoch was fantastic with that cut fastball. Ball gets away. That will be an error on Duffy, making Forsythe all the way around to third, and he will make it.
Step off move is a good one, but it's not necessary there. There's no need for it. He's not going anywhere. These guys hit home runs. They don't steal bases.
So the Royals hoping that mistake does not lead to a run, as Steven Souza is the batter, and he squares to bunt. The off-speed pitch is a little bit away, ball 1. One and one. Duffy just too shy of his career high in strikeouts, and that came earlier this year. 10 strikeouts in only 6 innings against the Chicago White Sox back on June 11th.
Yeah, you know, that fastball, he's just cutting right through these guys. Look at the ratio. Tremendous job of filling up that strike zone with all of them.
He stays with the heater, that time Sal wanted a little bit above the belt, but that was about belt high for Souza, who has tremendous power. Big guy at 6'3" and 235 pounds. Just has not been able to stay healthy. He had 16 home runs last year and 10 this year in limited number of at bats because of the injuries. Ooh. Well, good job framing by Perez, but he did not get the call.
He wanted that low strike call.
There.
How about that nice little hop, Duffy? And then he quickly got back up to the mound and said, "Excuse me, Mr. Davis, behind the plate. I didn't mean to offend you there." Yeah, he did.
Well, he tried to check his swing, but he went. Great job by Duffy. And fans, we'd like to take a moment to mourn the loss of one of our own today. Russ Gardner, our audio-visual engineer at Kauffman Stadium since 2008, passed away suddenly today. Russ was one of the most respected and hardest-working people at the ballpark, from making sure that all of the television mobile units were properly cabled into the ballpark to the wiring and cabling in the building and making sure every press conference from the stadium went off without a hitch. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, including his son Britt, who also works for the Royals. For the Rays. Kendrys Morales will lead things off. He has terrific numbers against Chris Archer. 8 for 14 with a home run. Last time up, hit it sharply, but right at the second baseman, who's playing very deep in right field, where a second baseman would normally play. He's about 30 feet out on the outfield grass. It's a good pitch to take a hack at, just below the belt. There's that defense.
Little triangle defense. Morales, you know, he knows all about that. Early this year, this is what was one of the causes for his early season slump. There you go.
That'll work.
But then he started doing that, and then he stopped swinging at the pitcher's pitch. That helped him. And then he got hot. I mean, like, he got lava hot. Remember, he was hot for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he hit .389 with 9 home runs and 25 RBIs before the All-Star break, but only batting .180 since. Here is Salvador Perez. Another pitch up from Archer. Royals here early, taking extra batting practice. Saw several guys in the cages even before the regular BP at 5 o'clock today.
They've been working. Salvi talked about the importance of going to the opposite field. Says, you know, that's an important part of our game, but you know how it is, Loco. You want to try to pull your way out of a slump. So he says it's hard. We think that way, but when you get in the batter's box and you know the guy's got a big fastball, we want to tag it and pull it out of here.
Did he call you crazy?
Loco, yeah. But that pitch there, you can't hit that. That's good to lay off of that. That and those ones down low, that slider.
Fans vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the Kansas City metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack.
Okay, he's got a patient Salvi here waiting for his pitch.
Archer with 3 strikeouts tonight.
Salvi's sitting on 15 walks. You know, he didn't walk a whole lot. 339 at bats coming into this game.
And 15 home runs.
And his buddy Escobar's got 17 walks. They're
not good. Well, he's safe because the second baseman's throw was wide of the mark and pulled Franklin off the bag. So no 6-4-3, only a 6-4, and let's see if the Royals can make them pay for their mistake.
But Forsythe had plenty of time. And with the second baseman's no longer, or the sliding runners into the second baseman no longer allowing the contact rules, there's no excuse for any bad throws now. They just slide right into the base.
Now Alex Gordon. You can see the competitiveness in Chris Archer after they failed to get that double play finished. Ball 1. And Chris is a great story. I mean, at the age of 2, he was adopted by his maternal grandmother and her husband Donna and Ron Archer. He finally met his biological father just 3 years ago. But a great athlete. Donna and Ron really worked with him on playing baseball and football. He was the quarterback of his high school football team in Clayton, North Carolina.
Just do a nice changeup to Alex Gordon.
In there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Speed down, 2-2. left center field. Desmond Jennings takes care of Gordon. Time for our Too Many Mazda game break. Max Kepler of the Minnesota Twins against Danny Salazar. That's deep, and that ball is gone. And the Twins leading Salazar, who came into that game 11 wins, only 3 losses. Minnesota, the last place team in the Central. Cleveland leading Detroit by 4.5 games. Detroit is idle today. Indians doing a lot to improve themselves, getting Geyer from the Rays, and told you about Andrew Miller. Orlando with a drive to center field. Kiermaier, great defender, goes back near the wall, pulls it down, and the Royals do not score in the 5th. The west side of the state of Florida, and our University of Kansas Hospital injury report on Troy Tulowitzki. He just came off the disabled list with a chip fracture in his right thumb and had been playing really well the last 32 games, hitting .304, and injures the thumb today after coming off injured the thumb yesterday. That poor guy has been through so many injuries, whether it's his leg or his back.
Yep. It's too bad. He's had a stroke of bad luck with those injury bugs, that's for sure.
His whole career.
Yeah.
And it's been a very tight race in the East with Baltimore right now leading the Blue Jays by a half game, and Boston 1.5 back. Red Sox later tonight are at Seattle. That's Rodriguez against Paxton.
Now about Brian Cashman. They're a 500 team, and they just basically sold the house. Got a whole bunch of minor leaguers in return, bunch of prospects. Good for him.
It's usually the reverse, where they're trading their prospects to get great players to make it to the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, the Rangers, we just saw the Rangers, and they pounded us, and now they got Carlos Beltran to go out there in their outfield, or DH.
And Jonathan Lucroy.
Yeah, the catcher.
Danny with a 2-2 count on Desmond Jennings. He struck him out back in the second. He's Jennings away. Jennings just recalled from the disabled list today. Been there with a left hamstring problem, much like Lorenzo Cain of the Royals. Popped him up. That almost got the A ring. Paulo Orlando is there for the catch. And if you hit that A-ring, it is in play. Well, our deadline deals today. Lucroy to Texas from Milwaukee. Beltran, you just reported that. Jay Bruce, after a little hesitation in the deal because of an injury, goes to the Mets. Rich Hill and Josh Reddick both go from Oakland to the Dodgers.
That'll make them better.
If Rich Hill can stay away from blister problems.
Yeah, and you know, for Reddick, he's a power hitting right fielder, and there was no sign of Yasiel Puig on their team flight to Colorado today.
Really?
So either he got traded or they sent him to the minors. Reddick's going to take his spot out there.
But, you know, they've been searching for a guy to hit in the middle of their order, and Reddick is very comfortable anywhere you put him.
Yeah, and Puig hasn't done much.
Yeah, I don't. The guy is such a talent.
Well, he needs to go down there, and if he did indeed go to the minors, it's a good time for you to get your game on track. Not a lot of pressure, not a lot of glitz and glamour. You know, ride those buses a little bit. Eat a little bit of that humble pie. Sometimes it makes you better.
Yeah, he might try the we approach.
That's right.
That above the belt heat has been really tough, particularly for their left-handers. He's staying more fastball slider to the lefties like Miller and Kiermaier. Just off the plate, 3-2. He's walked 1. Struck out 9. Danny Duffy in less than 5 innings has tied his career high with 10 strikeouts.
Whew, man. Yeah, that's right. Kiermaier. Yeah, you got to go, bud. Yep, that's tough night for you, for all of your teammates. Duffy is filling it up.
And they're not taking him looking. They're swinging. He ain't fooling them. He's just challenging them.
Oh, it's going right after him. You love it.
Now Beckham, strike 1.
You can hear the crack of Salvi's glove all over this indoor arena here.
Beckham out of Griffin, Georgia. He's been hot since the All-Star break. 12 for 27. One of their better offensive players. Danny going above the belt again at 95.
All right, Salvi just pointed to his head. That's telling Duffy to think a little bit here about this one. 0-2, doesn't want to give him anything too good here. Yeah, but
well, that wasn't too good.
No, but Salvi made it look good. He just picked that ball in the dirt. Now it's 0-2. He said, all right, that's what that was. A little reminder. He throwing any cookies here. Good pick though by Salvi. That ball. I don't know how he did that. Of course, his hands are so great. He wears the gold, by the way. You can see it. He's got his glove, his Rawlings glove, all donned up in gold. His chest protector right there is not gold right there. It's Escobar has the same gold, and so does Haas. I got to check out Escobar's gold glove today. Kyle Turner, the glove doctor on the team, the assistant athletic trainer, is doing some doctoring on Escobar's glove, and I said, can I see it? He goes, yes. I said, is this his gamer? He said, yep.
Low target, swing and a miss, struck him out. That is a new career high. 11 strikeouts in 5 innings for Danny Duffy.
Woohoo! Duffy is Duffy.
our contestant is Robin Gardner from Shawnee. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Robin will win $300. But if the Royals hit a grand slam, Robin, you get $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
How about just a solo shot? And maybe for Mondesi, be a good time for his first career homer.
Archer, we're told you, has given up a lot of big flies this year. 21. Mondesi dropped a bunt his first time up. It did advance the runner, but he was bunting for a hit. Oh, dropped that beautifully on the outside corner.
Well, when you see pitching like you're seeing tonight, obviously there's not a lot of offense. That's how hard it is.
Royals have 3 hits. The Rays have 0. On to see 4 for 13 in the Texas series. Oh, he chased one, and he will make it to first base. Yeah, a swing and a miss for a strikeout, but Mondesi doesn't care. He's on. So the Royals have a speed guy on.
Yep, there it is. Now he saw it kick away right away, and he knows he's got a chance. Now the backstop is not too far behind home plate, but far enough.
And Mondesi with excellent speed. Archer, who hasn't pitched from the stretch that much tonight, now facing Escobar. He's grounded out twice. And Esky will bunt. Back to Archer. Only play first base. Moving to second, Mondesi.
Folks, make your way to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum for the 2016 Heart of America Hot Dog Festival on Saturday, August 13th. This family fun event will celebrate baseball and the fan favorite hot dog. Admissions include tours of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, games, mascots, and live musical entertainment featuring performances by the original Lakeside and Con Function. Visit NLBM.com or call 816-221-1920 to get your tickets to the festival.
Cuthbert 1 for 2, lined a single off of the glove of Forsythe last time up. Driven in 33. He's called up on May 7th. At 28 RBIs at AAA Omaha. Chesler now with a 2-1 count. He had a chance to visit with an old buddy, Erasmo Ramirez. Both hail from Nicaragua. Ramirez, who was a starter for the Rays, now coming out of their bullpen. In the dirt. Mondesi is getting a good secondary lead at second base. Was reading that and had that ball trickle away from the catcher Maley just a little bit. He would have been off for third base.
Yep, Duffy doesn't need a whole lot of runs tonight. I mean, just see if you can scratch him 1 or 2. The team's average with runners in scoring position has dropped immensely. 265 now. We're up near 280 right after the All-Star break.
Well, a walk, so 2 on for Lorenzo Cain. Maile comes out for a visit with the veteran Chris Archer. Archer with 5 shutout innings. Struck out Mondesi, but the ball got away from Maile. A wild pitch back to the screen, allowing Mondesi to reach first base. Escobar sacrificed him to second. Now a walk to Cuthbert. And Lorenzo Cain still looking for his first hit since coming off the DL.
Okay, he's due. And listen to the Royals fans out in the stands here, giving him a little encouragement. Wouldn't you know?
Darn it. A 6-4-3 will end the 6th.
Rats. He likes it.
Out 11. He's not allowed a hit. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Nick Franklin, Luke Maile, and then back to the top of the order and Logan Forsythe. Ball 1. Franklin struck out swinging first time up. He hails from Orlando, Florida. He's one of the state's best high school players and drafted by Seattle in the 1st round in 2009.
You could be any of the great Hall of Famers you want, and they would have a hard time hitting Danny Duffy tonight. Paul Molitor, right-handed hitter, he would have a tough time.
Popped him up. Salvi calling everybody off, and finally Cuthbert comes in screaming. Sal, get out of the way.
If you're going to catch it, that's what you got to do. Duffy put his hands on his head thinking, oh no, not again. And now listen to this. Salvi, this is an easy play for him. Look at Duffy put his hands on his head saying, oh no. Duffy's pointing. So Salvi yielded because he does not have priority. The corners have priority, so he yielded to the higher power.
And also the power that almost got him on the DL.
Ooh, yeah, that was scary. It was very scary when that incident happened. And then in Texas, you saw him overrun a pop-up, you know, when he came in from shortstop. Yeah, because he looked at Salvi to see where Salvi was. So he learned from that big time.
Good slider in there. Advantage Duffy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left that changeup up, not where he wanted it.
Little late. He's been really good all over the 4 quadrants of the strike zone tonight. He's stayed out of the middle, but his stuff is just explosive.
In there. Wow, at 93 miles an hour. That's 12 strikeouts for Danny Duffy and not yet 6 innings. Our sprint trivia question we asked earlier tonight: name the last Royal starter with 7 or more strikeouts in his first 9 outs.
It's got to be Yordano Ventura. Yeah, with his kind of stuff, he's got to be the guy.
It is.
Okay.
And that was just last year, August 27th against Baltimore.
They tried to pull one on us there.
Well,
it looked difficult at first, and then we just had to think a little bit, which is hard for me. But I was surprised you didn't get it.
Well, as soon as you said it, I go, oh, that's right. I remember that game against Baltimore where that fastball curveball combination, because he had those Orioles swinging and missing at the curveball in the dirt. Logan Forsythe 0 for 1 with a walk. This is the only guy he has yet to strike out. Forsythe, a guy who has struck out 72 times this year. He's one of 12 who's been on the disabled list. We currently have Logan Morrison, Oswaldo Arcia, Mike Matuk. Desmond Jennings just came off today. They also have Alex Cobb and Chase Whitley on the DL. Popped up. Hosmer. Danny Duffy through 6. Nothing game at the Trop. Great pitching by Chris Archer of Tampa Bay and Danny Duffy of the Royals. Salvi splash is what these fans want. That means the Royals win at the end, and Salvi gets to dump a bucket of water or Gatorade on one of the stars. I'm hoping it's Danny Duffy tonight, the way he is dealing.
Yep, they got to get him a run.
How about Hosmer here to start the 7th? Archer hasn't made many mistakes. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 singles, and a ball that was played into a double by the second baseman Forsythe. Last time Hosmer faced the Rays, he tore them up, was 6 for 13 with a home run. The Royals swept the Rays back in Kansas City May 30th through June 1st, outscoring the Rays 22-10.
Now Archer, you know, he's got a lively fastball, we know that, but now his 3rd time through, he's bringing in a lot of changeups. Now he didn't use that changeup first, second time through as much. Now he is. This is exactly what you want to do. If you're a pitcher and you got a good game going, he's staying in this game a long time, but he's got to be able to conserve his weapons, and this is a good example of it here.
Outside corner, perfectly located. Our Panera Bread scores around the league. Yankees and Mets battling bottom of the 5th inning. It's the Yanks leading the Mets. Brett Gardner 2 for 3 in that game, and Minnesota big on Cleveland 8-3 with Danny Salazar throwing for the Tribe. Toronto and Houston just underway. Miami and Chicago. Cubs leading that one 2-0. Cubs still lead that Central by 7.5 over the Cardinals. Here is Morales. Command of that pitch has been outstanding.
Yeah, he's starting to hit his spot with the changeup. Sure helped him out, that double play Kane hit into last half inning.
2 on, 1 out. First pitch to Kane, 6-4-3. Well, center field. Kiermaier is back, going to climb that wall. It's gone, and the Royals lead it 1-0.
Kendrys Morales came into this game 8 for 13 with 1 home run off of Chris Archer, and now he's got his 2nd hit of the night, and this one gives Danny Duffy the lead. A slider that just laid right over the middle of the plate, just a little spinner. It just had a little bit of spin on it, and that's about it, and that's all he needed. Kendrys Morales, 17th home run. Timely.
Now Perez with a swing and a miss. For Kendrys, his 17th home run, 50th RBI, and as you're talking about, he owns Archer 10 for 16 now with a couple of home runs. Big one here tonight, game 1 of a 4-game series. Fouled back. Another hard thrower goes tomorrow night in Ventura. Question mark for the Rays because their scheduled starting pitcher Matt Moore for tomorrow night obviously traded to San Francisco. We have not been told who will come up from the minor leagues likely to start, or it could be Erasmo Ramirez out of the bullpen, who was a former starter.
They'll find somebody.
Sal have that average up near 290, but 6 hits in his last 44 at bats has seen it dip to 267. Twice he's grounded out to short. Bangs that one high and deep. Kiermaier, though, is there at the wall.
Oh, man, he looked to me like he got all that, but just kind of died off at the end there, right at the 404 mark in center field.
Archer mad about the location of the pitch with 2 strikes.
Yeah, but this is exactly what Salvi was talking about before the game today. He says, I can go that way. I'm just going to have to get a pitch that way. And it was just a little bit up.
He has not had one taxing inning. The most pitches he's thrown in one frame is 16. Did that twice in the 3rd and the 5th. He's at 90, almost through 7. Strike 1. Ooh. That one hurt. That one made Maley a little dizzy.
Quite possibly. I mean, you get it when you get it on the chin like that.
It's like a sailor stepping off a bar stool.
You know, we saw
wobbling back.
Saw home plate umpire Jerry Davis, the first pitch of the game, catch one, but it glanced off the side of his mask. But whenever you catch one on the chin like that, it's like taking a punch. Kevin Cash, former catcher, manager of the Rays, his 2nd year. He knows what that's about. It's got a little trickle of skin cut there, a little trickle of blood there. Take care of that. Sure you have those gloves on.
Oh man, I'm telling you. And that's with a mask on. I remember a tough guy by the name of Tom Browning, pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, fouled a ball off home plate, came straight back, hit him in the nose, bloodied his nose, and cut his lip. He laid on home plate, HUD, while they stitched him up, and he continued to pitch. That's a tough dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You know, little butterfly stitches they do to the boxers.
Right. Well, you know, the cut's one thing, it's the concussion's the other. I mean, that's what
You're exactly right.
Well, you hope doesn't happen. He can handle that Band-Aid right there. But
you know, Mike McFarland of the St. Louis Cardinals, who's their skipper now, can tell you all about having to leave the game because of so many concussions. He suffered taking foul balls off the mask. Mike Matheny. Oh, McFarland. I was thinking of our Royal catcher.
That's right.
Well, trying to tell you the story of Matheny, the St. Louis manager. Well, the young Kansas City kids going to Mack and Sites to get their baseball instruction.
It's a nice baseball academy, along with several others in Kansas City. You got BC building champions. You've got all kinds of club teams that are in the area. Kansas City Blaze.
Great fields. We played at the old Shawnee grounds growing up, 3-2 fields out there.
Jeff Montgomery was telling me on the bus the other day about how when he coached his sons, he had his own little club teams.
Alex swings and misses at the changeup, strikes out, but Kendrys Morales goes deep, breaks the scoreless duel, and the Royals have a 1-0 lead.
Oh yeah, open holes.
Brad Miller, Evan Longoria, and Steven Souza have combined for 50 home runs, but they're also combined 0 for 6 against Danny with 5 strikeouts.
Pitch efficiency is outstanding tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike to Miller, who was struck out and popped up.
Miller hitting 286 off of southpaws. That's a good mark.
Whistles that one foul, so advantage Duffy at 1 and 2. After seeing a swing on that slider, he may go back to the heater.
Better if he just starts that breaking ball middle and finishes off the plate. That one started in and was hittable.
Orlando is right there. 1 out in the 7th. Are too many Mazda game break.
See the ball clear the wall. That's a base hit.
Brett Gardner with an RBI hit. Yankees leading the Mets. Now a tough right-handed batter in Longoria. Duffy has struck him out twice. Slider barely missed.
Good spot back door. That was the hardest ball hit off Duffy. Off of Miller's bat there to Paulo Orlando.
He has struck out 12 in 6 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he's gone slider changeup to open this duel with Longoria.
Both in the lower part of the strike zone. Really good location.
Then he goes back to a changeup on a fastball count at 2-1, evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the whole key. The fastball is one thing, but to have command with that pitch there, and when you're able to have the ability to put it on that 2 inches off the outside part of the plate, that's beautiful. I mean, you don't even have any idea how hard that is, Fizz, to be able to try to hit that after seeing that.
Oh man, 13 strikeouts now for Danny Duffy, and he has struck out Longoria 3 times.
Look at the lower part of the zone. You gotta love that he filled it up. Now watch him. He uses all the strike zone tonight. He's down low. He's staying up high. That's above the belt. Those are pitches that are now. There's down the middle. When you have that kind of velocity, you can get away with pitches in the middle. But look at the fine execution. Location, location, location is everything. And when you have a little velocity, that's even a bonus.
The best we've ever seen Danny Duffy was on May 17th, 2014. He retired the first 20 Orioles in a 1-0 win. It was at this time in the game where Adam Jones broke up that perfect game with 2 out in the 7th inning. We've got 2 out in the 7th inning. He has struck out Souza twice.
Yeah, you know, you see the pitch count there, 94. Right? That's because it takes a lot of pitches to strike guys out. You know, he typically earlier in the season didn't really care too much about the strikeouts, and even tonight he's just pitching his game. And when you use your defense and pitch to contact, that keeps the pitch count down. But tonight, that could be an issue for him.
And then he goes up with his fastball after showing off an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. Difference in velocity about 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I've seen several hitters do this reaction tonight. Yeah,
that's tough. Oh, baby. Danny Duffy, 7 no-hit innings, 14 strikeouts, dealing at the drop.
Go ahead. Let the fastball hunt.
Through 7 innings, but 1 in the 7th hurt him. And that was the home run by Kendrys Morales. Now our Phillips 66, what's left in the tank. Brad Boxberger returned from the disabled list today. He has been a closer in the past, but Colomé is their closer right now. 25 for 26. I think he stays in that role.
For sure. Their tank is full.
And now Kevin Jepsen has been warming in the Rays bullpen. Bottom of the order coming up, Paulo Orlando, who has struck him hard twice, once for a double, the other time flied out to deep center field. And he cracks this one up the middle, past Miller into center field. So the Royals have a speed guy on.
Not surprised. Paulo, he directs that ball up the middle almost every time. That's on the outer half of the plate, probably 2-3 inches off. He's able to reach out there with his long arms and stroke it up the middle.
Well, I'll tell you what, they don't get Archer any runs. Do you know what his ERA, HUD, is at home this year? It's like 2.85 now. And yet he is 1-7 at home. It's no offense when Archer's throwing. Here's Mondesi. Wonder if he's bunting. He shows it and pulls it back, but it's a strike. Earlier last week you talked about his good bunting technique.
Yep, he's a technician bunter. Really bends his knees, gets down there, gets that bat head out there in front. Barrel above the hands, that's where you want it to get the ball down.
He does get it down. Archer is going to first. Mondesi was roaring down that first base line. And the Royals have a man in scoring position with 1 out here in the 8th inning. That's 2 sacrifices for Raul Mondesi tonight.
Are you a fan of baseball history? Well, be sure to come out to Kauffman Stadium for the Baseball Hall of Fame Tour. We Are Baseball, beginning this Friday. This is a one-of-a-kind mobile exhibit featuring artifacts, images never before seen, video, virtual reality, and IMAX movie. Cutting-edge technology. The exhibit galleries will run from August 5th through August 21st every day at the K parking lot. Purchase your tickets today by calling 800-352-0212 or visit halloffametour.com.
Strike 1 to Escobar. Esky 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Orlando was getting a big lead at second base. Archer has struck out 6. The two pitchers have combined for 20 tonight. Duffy obviously on his game. 14 strikeouts through 7. Archer trying to get Escobar to chase that slider down and away. And even though he gets a lot of base hits to right field, they're shading him more than most defenses do to the left side.
Well, they're a little bit concerned about Paulo ripping third off.
There's a base hit to left field. Orlando comes charging around third, and he will score, and the Royals go in front 2-0.
Great job of looking for the pitch up. Archer left it there just like he did in the first inning. He was up a lot with that, and they couldn't get the barrel on it, and then Escobar makes that one hurt.
Kevin Cash has made the decision he's going to Kevin Jepsen, but Escobar with a big hit here.
Yeah, pulled his hands in. That ball, it came in on him, but he was ready for it. Nice piece of hit, Nesky.
Kevin Jepsen versus Chester Cuthbert. Ball 1. This is a veteran pitcher. Jepsen is our Chevy call to the bullpen. He's pitching in his 41st game this year, some with Minnesota and now with the Rays, the second stint with Tampa Bay.
He's got some high numbers for him. He's got good stuff. He's mid-90s fastball, slider, changeup. That 5 ERA out of the bullpen, it's not working. He's been a little bit flat up in the strike zone, getting pounded.
He was with the Rays for the start of the 2015 season and was really solid with a 2.81 ERA. So Minnesota traded for him last year when they were in the race. Jepsen has never had a great pickoff move. Escobar does have 14 steals.
Cuthbert, again, look up in the zone. The outfield's playing him to the opposite field. They know he likes to drive the ball that way.
Esky does not go, and it's upstairs. Cuthbert on twice with a single and a walk. His wheelhouse. Spun straight back.
Took a good rip, and he keeps both hands on the bat through the whole swing. Watch this. He takes that rip. A lot of hitters will take the top hand off. It's just the different styles of hitting. Duffy appreciates that extra run that Escobar just knocked in for him.
Check swing. Ball gets away. Escobar to second base.
Yeah. Try to keep it in front. Just kick down the line. Escobar now in scoring position. Cuthbert can look fastball. 3-2. He's got to challenge him here.
Escobar was getting a big lead. Jepsen got a little nervous and stepped off.
Cuthbert, 292 average with runners in scoring position, has the credentials to knock him in. Stay hot.
There's a base hit to left field. Escobar had to make sure it went through, so he'll only make it to third. And now he slaps his hands in disgust.
Yeah, he found that hole. You could tell on contact that was going to be between the two fielders. But when you're at second base and you're the runner, it's not as easy to judge that play. So sometimes you'll just commit. He got caught in no man's land. One out. Still an opportunity to get him home.
So Kane, who hit into an inning-ending double play last time up in the 6th inning, what should his philosophy be in this plate appearance?
Stay inside the ball, shoot the ball to right field. Still looking for his first hit since coming back from the DL.
And there's a big hole between first base where the the fielder Franklin's holding him on, and the second baseman pulled over towards second.
Yeah, trying to pull that ball is what gets you in trouble, especially if it's away.
He did take a shot at right field there. Another shot at right field, slices it that way. Jepsen has Kane down 0-2.
He went with the slider 3-2 to Chesler. He was able to get it, stayed on over the plate. He's staying firm with Lorenzo. It's because he's beating him on it. Lorenzo's a little bit behind it. Hitters, catchers, they can feel that. pitcher knows what's going on with that catcher. He's the one back there calling those pitches. He's going to stay with it. Got him in swing mode, that's for sure.
Jepson coming with strike after strike after strike to Kane. Lorenzo fighting the tough ones off, hoping for the mistake.
Staying up in the zone. That's all Lorenzo can do. 2 strikes. He's battling. So really, if you're a catcher, Maley, he probably told him, hey, look, why don't you throw one down and I'll pick it in the dirt. And we'll give him a little different look. All these pitches are up in the zone, even though there is a man at third base.
They have suffered 2 wild pitches in this game. They do through the slider. It is blocked beautifully by Maley.
Yeah, didn't work. Locane didn't budge on it.
You can see where he took a shot to the chops earlier that cut his chin. He did a repair job at home plate and redid it when he was in the dugout. Royals with a run in the 7th, a run in the 8th.
Locane's saying, all right, I'm not going to be an easy out here. He's competing in this at bat. I like it. He wants to drive in and run. If he does, it'll be his 40th of the season.
That should be deep enough. Souza with the catch, Escobar with the tag. He's coming home, and man, brought it to the second baseman, and the Royals take a 3-0 lead. Good at bat by Lorenzo Cain.
Better believe it. He competed and he won it and got his 40th RBI. Yeah, 8 pitches. No, that's what Dale Swain would like to see out of these Royals hitters. Compete in your at bats. He's telling me before the game, sometimes our guys just get up there and just swing at everything the pitcher throws. And we're not thinking. We're not competing. We're giving our at bats away. So that's a good sign there.
Well, they've competed very well, and this with the Rays coming in, an outstanding pitching staff. 1.6 ERA their last 11 games, and Archer on his game until Morales took him deep. And now the Royals have scratched for 2 runs here in the 8th. And Hosmer up, the man at first, 2 out. Long rest for Danny Duffy. Now a 3-0 count to Hosmer. We thought they might bring in Enny Romero, a left-hander who had been warming in their bullpen. Switch hitter Morales next.
It's been a long half inning for Danny Duffy sitting in there in that dugout.
Looks like he's hiding. Three and one.
Of course, none of Duffy's teammates are sitting around him. They're all alone. They're all sitting in front of him. As a matter of fact, the Rays in the visiting dugout, it's brand new. They just put some rows of seats and benches in there.
Ooh, that looked off the plate.
I think it was.
It looked like about 3-4 inches off the plate.
Wasn't even close. This half inning is 19 minutes long.
Hosmer with a line drive caught by Forsythe. But the Royals score 2 in the 8th. Danny Duffy, no hits through 7. Back out for the 8th. Danny Duffy has been sensational. First pitch swinging, Desmond Jennings popping it up. That's back in the seats. Hosmer raced over. Every single defender on their toes. Duffy no hits allowed through 7. He has struck out 14.
Cruising. Only one ball struck well. That was off of Brad Miller's bat back in the 7th inning to lead it off. Line drive to Paulo Orlando in center field. Just a wonderful display of 3 brilliant pitches. They're all working. And he's doing a great job of staying out of the middle of the plate.
He said his pitching coach Dave Island a few years back got his mind where it needed to be, telling him you're better at 92 to 94 than 97.
Now, when he was in the bullpen, it was okay to come out and go pedal to the metal and go 95 to 98. He had that in him. He could be like a dragster and go that quarter mile hard.
But he wanted him to be down every pitch and not overthrow, because when he overthrew, he didn't have the same velocity or command.
Dave Island's done a great job with not only Duffy but the entire Royals staff.
There's the first base hit of the game. And it gets it away from Gordon, and Jennings will take second base. Seven no-hit innings.
Yeah. There's a great effort there. I mean, it's a fastball up. Jennings is waiting for it. Salvi's target was down, but it was right over the middle of the plate. Jennings quick to his hands, kept his hands inside, pulled it, barreled it. And would have been a double. Alex, the ball got under his glove, but that would have been 2 all the way. So it's not a miscue on Alex's part. So now Ned Yost will get some action up in that bullpen.
Yeah, there was nobody up there. Ned Yost, former catcher, knows how important it is for a pitcher when you get into a situation like this. Left-handed batter Kiermaier, and he strokes one to right center field, and Orlando is there, and halfway to second base, excuse me, third base was Jennings, so he has to retreat to second. Joakim Soria up in the Royals bullpen.
Amazing how quickly that ball can get tracked down and run down by the speedy center fielders in this league, especially Paulo Orlando. Lorenzo Cain, great, brilliant run in center field with the Royals the last couple of seasons, has moved to right field now. It's a little bit less stress on his legs.
Particularly coming off that left hamstring injury. First pitch change up to Beckham, strike one. Lorenzo, because he's been so great in center field, he also is one of the game's best right fielders. Royals, to have the best defense in the field 2 years ago, would take Nori Aoki out and put Dyson in center, move Cain to right. That was like putting in another relief pitcher. Slider for a swing and miss.
Duffy at 104 pitches. He's thrown as many as 110.
And that was in that 8 2/3 he had against Philadelphia a few weeks back. Struck him out on the foul tip, and Danny Duffy has just tied Zach Greinke for the most strikeouts in one game as a Kansas City Royal.
Pretty impressive. He's got one hitter left. I don't think Ned's going to let him come out for the ninth.
No, they want to take care of that left arm. Right-handed batter is Nick Franklin, who was struck out and popped up. Now I like what Sal's doing. A lot of these right-handed batters, after Jennings got the double, he started him off with a changeup.
He backed up with it. He's doubling up with it. He's done a fine job tonight, just cruising. You know who he reminds me of is Danny Jackson. Danny Jackson had great velocity like that. Now Jackson had a little sharper slider.
Oh man, it was tough slider.
Yeah, hard slider, harder to hit. But he didn't have. I don't think he had as good a changeup as Danny did. Duffy does, but still comparable. Now I thought about Randy Johnson, but you know, no one was in Randy's league. Randy was in a league of his own with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and his slider was at 93. So you know, I mean, it's slim pickings.
You faced him a lot because you faced a lot of lefties.
Sure did. But it's just his delivery, same arm slot, same arm angle. It's very impressive to see how he's able to execute. The hitters have no chance because he's not dropping his arm angle for any particular pitch, and hitters can pick up on that arm angle because that's the release point. That's where their focus is.
His command down has been ridiculous.
Yeah, and then he'll lock him up by raising the eye level.
That's a new Royals record for one game. 16 strikeouts for Danny Duffy in 8 innings. Wow.
Yep. Folks here at the Trop appreciating that outing, that's for sure. Call the cops. He was awesome.
Kendrys Morales will lead it off. The Royals with a 3-0 lead, and Morales with a vicious rip on Enny Romero. Dave Island visiting with Danny Duffy, who just set this single game strikeout record for the Royal, and there's plenty of joy in that Royals dugout, and all his fellow pitchers come over to give him a handshake.
Ned's messing with him. He's saying, hey, what are you doing? You're going back out there. Just don't be, you're not coming out of this game.
He's coming out. You know he is. But you know how there they are. There's Wade Davis back with us. He's in the DL. Dylan G and Giordano Ventura. Ryan Stoneberg right there. Strength and conditioning coach. Rex, you know how you tell young people to set your sights high?
Right.
Dave Island's instruction to Danny Duffy was set your sights lower. Meaning lower in the strike zone, because he was throwing so many high fastballs early.
That's right.
Look at those numbers. Incredible.
One walk. It's coming. Look, that no-hitter is coming too, by the way, Fizz. I called that several weeks ago when he was just getting into his little groove. I said, he got no-hit stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we almost saw it.
We were talking about his strikeout to walk ratio earlier tonight. He now has only 23 strikeouts and only 23 walks, I beg your pardon, this year, and 126 strikeouts. Ridiculous ratio for a guy who was always a pitcher who lacked command.
His turnaround's been awesome, and a lot of it is his hard work for sure, but Dave Island's done some good work with him.
Yeah, he has.
And you got to give him some credit. Now, Dave Island will credit Duffy.
There's a base hit back up the middle by Salvador Perez. Enny Romero is our Chevy pitching change. 36th game of the year, 5.6 ERA, and their bullpen ERA is second to highest in the American League at 4.5.
And he has a blazing fastball, mid to upper 90s, slider, changeup.
Alex Gordon skies it in the air, right field. And 2 out. Royals baseball is brought to you by your local Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Visit us for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be, with 24 Kansas City metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. Strike in there. Orlando. Now you get to reap the benefits of success. Enjoy the rest of the game with your teammates.
Yeah, and you know, before that, there might be some.
I tell you, he has been on every single pitch tonight, from Archer and now Romero. He is 3 for 4, and the only time they got him out was that long fly ball to the wall in center field. Paulo swinging a good bat. Is that average up over 320 again?
Yep, he laced it. What I was talking about is that whenever a pitcher has a no-hitter going, the teammates around him are superstitious, and they don't sit by him. No one wants to talk to him because nobody wants to get blamed for jinxing him. And so now that it's over, everyone's comfortable in those new rows of seats that I told you they just put in here. And last night, so you know, the pressure's off, but they're all comfortable in those nice little cushion pads there on those new benches they put in.
Mondesi batting from the right side for the first time. He has a couple of sacrifices in this game, but also reached on the only out when he struck out, but a wild pitch allowed him to get to first base. Slider by Romero, 1-1. And Raul might have the perfect hitting coach for him and Dale Swaim, a guy who was a switch hitter, who knows how difficult it is to maintain that swing from both sides of the plate.
Keep in mind, Mondesi, he's not going to just tear the cover off the ball. This is a young kid who's learning how to hit in the big leagues. He's going to have his struggles, but they're willing to experiment with him and let him get his taste. We've already seen some of the tremendous skills and the fruit of his skills that we're watching. Great defense, solid arm, good speed. We got a chance to see it all here. He'll get comfortable. This kid's going to have a nice career.
A little bit high. Ground ball to third. Beckham, nice pick, and Mondesi is out. Royals will leave 2, but they head to the bottom of the 9th, leading by 3-0. 0-0 lead. The Royals with 3 runs on 9 hits. Tampa Bay no runs on 1 hit. Duffy took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, but Desmond Jennings broke it up. And Steve Physiok along with Rex Hudler. We're now joined by Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. And Monty, we love watching a pitcher with his best of A stuff.
Yeah, it was unbelievable tonight. He had command of all 3 of his pitches. Seemed like that changeup to me was a really good put-away pitch, particularly against the right-handed batters. I call it the parachute changeup. It comes in at about 95, and then it just kind of backs off to about 85 HUD, and it's just really impossible for hitters to track that. And the arm speed's been great. I really like how he expanded the strike zone. When he wanted to throw a ball, he threw a ball. When he wanted to throw a strike, he threw a strike.
Yeah, the parachute changeup's great. I call the fastball the Linda Ronstadt, blew by you. I mean, you know, you could tell he popped up the first hitter and he struck out the next 2, and he was in total command and control ever since then, executing his spots, hitting it. And when you have that velo at 96, 97, that makes it really tough on those hitters.
Well, I told Joel downstairs earlier, I said, this is man against boys tonight.
It was incredible. 16 strikeouts for Danny Duffy through 8 innings, setting a Royals record. And Monty, can you remember a time watching a teammate, whether it was Mark Gubazov striking out 14, where you saw a guy who was absolutely in control, in command, and in his zone?
Probably the guy more than any was Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah.
When he was on, it was just unbelievable to see him work. Now, Gooby and Kevin Appier probably had maybe better, like what you call swing and miss type stuff at times, but Sabes had the ability to locate, and as the game got deeper in the game, he became a better pitcher.
You really think that start in the bullpen earlier this year helped Danny Duffy out?
The thing I think it really did for him was it taught him to really trust his fastball, because he pitched with his fastball so frequently out of the bullpen, didn't use those off pitches hardly at all. But once he established that fastball was his pitch, he had the confidence in throwing that fastball 4 strikes, and he believed in how good it was, he became a different pitcher.
And it almost seemed like, I mean, you've said many times where if a guy can throw a first pitch, get me over curveball for strike 1, he can own the batter. Well, tonight it almost seemed like Danny Duffy versus those right-handed batters you talked about, that first pitch changeup, then all of a sudden he would dominate upstairs with the fastball.
Well, it's crazy when you have the ability to throw the fastball the way he does, but also pitch backwards with your off pitches. I mean, a lot of pitches that were fastball counts, he's throwing that changeup and then getting even in counts and finding a way then to later put hitters away.
You're talking about disrupting timing. Man, you got a hitter up there looking for that fastball. That's how he's going to make his living off of Duffy, and then you're pulling the parachute on him, Monty. You got no chance.
Escobar takes care of Dickerson, and there's 1 out. And a reminder, Monty will be joined by Joel on Boulevard Royals Live after this game. That's coming up next on Fox Sports Kansas City.
Yeah, Monty, we appreciate you coming up here real quick before your show just to give us some insight on what you're thinking about our left-hander Duffy, man. Thank you for coming up.
Hey, nothing I'd rather be talking about, believe me.
Exactly.
And we have a chance to get a W. How about that?
That is the key. There's a ground ball to short. Monty better hustle, because this game is almost over, and he's running out of the booth right now. 3-0 KC, 2 out. The batter will be Brad Miller. Miller is 0 for 3 in this game. A strikeout, pop up and fly out. First pitch swung on and missed. Kelvin Herrera going for the save tonight. Herrera has become the new closer. He's looking for his 2nd save this year with the injury to Wade Davis. Foul. Advantage Herrera at 0-2. fouls it back. Stays 0-2. There's Danny Duffy. Took a no-hitter into the 8th inning and then wound up giving up a hit to Jennings and then followed that up with a pair of strikeouts, his 15th and 16th. I remember him telling me the story, Hud, of his mom Deanne catching him growing up, and he said she caught me all the way up until I started throwing 90 miles an hour, and she said that's it, we got to get somebody else for you.
Yeah, God bless you, Deanna. Way to go, way to hang with him and help him become
struck him out.
The record holder he is.
A victory for Danny Duffy in the best game he's ever pitched. What a performance. 16 strikeouts, a Royals record for a single game. Paul Orlando had a terrific night, going 3 for 4. Morales went deep. Herrera with the save, but that man's the star.
That's right. He deserves a big bear hug from Salvi. He was tremendous, and it helped the Royals. Of course, you know they love to play behind him because there's not a lot of action. Look at that. He just blowing balls right by guys, almost like they didn't have a bat up there. Could barely even get a piece of it. Only 1 ball, 2 balls were hit, were struck hard off of Duffy the entire night. He was on, changing speeds, eye level, changeups, pitching backwards, you name it. He